4 of the Basketball Champions League regular season. Our visitors Bonn already have 2 wins under their belts, while the hosts Szombathely only have the 1. They did, however, pick up that win game day 2 against Falco. For Bonn, their wins came against Zaragoza and Besiktas, only losing by a single point to Brindisi, a buzzer beater on game day 2. Crowd starting to come into the Severia Arena now. Sure, it'll be a lot fuller when we get to tip-off. Here's your schedule for game day 4 in Group D. As you can see, Dijon will take on Falco later today, and then Neptunus Zaragoza and Brindisi Besiktas will take place tomorrow to round off game day 4 here in Group D of this year's Basketball Champions League. As I said, game day 4 of 14. That's how long the regular season is. Both these teams will want to make it through to at least the round of 16. Maybe even further, but can they do it? Remember, the groups are 8 teams deep, and the top 4 will make their way through. So here's your group standings. For Group D, Dijon at the moment top of the group without losing a game. Falco bottom of the group, and our teams here this evening, Bonn, sit in 2nd position, whilst our host Szombathely sit in 6th. All can change after today's game, though, as we see the visitors Bonn warming up. And the Bonn roster is a relatively new one. Only 3 players returning from last season. Doesn't seem to have slowed them down any, though. And they're pretty unfortunate not to have that perfect 3-0 record after that tough loss to Brindisi. But here's their roster. Brownig is probably one of the names that jumps out at you. Big game last week. 15 points and 8 rebounds. Subotic has had a good Basketball Champions League so far. 3 games in, and he's averaging 10 points a game. But plenty of talent up and down that Telekom Basket Bonn roster. And the home team Szombathely, they'll need to get their offense firing. They've got the 2nd worst offense in the group. They've only scored 71 points per game. That's not going to win them many games in the Basketball Champions League. Here's their roster, and big man Redick has been in fine form. 14 points and 4 rebounds last week. And Zoltan Pearl as well has been a force to reckon with. He's averaging 14.7 points, 4.7 rebounds and 3.7 assists across the first 3 game days here at the Basketball Champions League. We're just about to have both teams introduced to the crowd here in the arena. And this is when the nerves start cranking up for both the teams. They know they're getting to the business end of preparations now. They'll have worked since their weekend. They'll have worked pretty relentlessly towards this game here this evening, and it will be the away team first, obviously, that gets introduced. And Bonn have won 4 of their last 6 Basketball Champions League games, and the weird thing is, before that, they only won 2 of their last 7. So there really has been a tide change for Bonn, starting to really get into this competition now, and becoming one of the more household names in the Basketball Champions League. And it's all on the back of tough defense. They forced more turnovers on their opponents than any other team in the Basketball Champions League. Believe it or not, the teams they've played against have averaged 18.3 turnovers. Absolutely unbelievable. And it's that defensive intensity that could cause a problem for Szombathely. As I said, the home team, they've struggled offensively in the Basketball Champions League this season, only averaging 71 points per game. They need to get their offense firing, Szombathely, and they get it firing early as well. You know, their only win has come in the only game they've scored over 70 points. Pretty sure that's not a coincidence. Maybe that 70-point mark is the magic number for them. And on top of that, they're overly reliant maybe on their starting 5 for points. Over 3/4 of their points are scored from that starting 5. Only Torun and Gaziantep are more reliant on their starters to score points in the Basketball Champions League this season. So maybe it is a revelation coming off the bench that Szombathely need to get another win in the W column this evening. As you see the coaching staff as well huddled together. They'll certainly have plenty to do this evening. As the players go into their huddles just before the exchange of gifts before tip. You can see the nerves starting to creep in for the players as well, and that's part of it. which of the players steps up to it and embraces those nerves and channels them positively, and which crumble under the pressure of European basketball. As we can see, the Szombathely mascot there enjoying himself, along with the dancers on the baseline. As they enter final preparations now. As I say, Dijon atop of Group D at the moment. They haven't lost a game. They face against PAOK later this evening. So that's top v bottom in that one, but this one's maybe got a little bit more riding on it. Szombathely 6th at the moment with a 1-win, 2-loss record. And then Bonn 2nd with a 2-win, 1-loss record. So if Szombathely get the win this evening, they'll level up records with Bonn and would theoretically go above them, depending on the points difference situation. We'll have a look at our officials for this evening's game shortly as well. All that. Bonn will keen to keep going. They have an interesting record at the moment. They seem to not be able to get on a streak, either winning or losing. Their last 6 games, they've won, lost, including Basketball Champions League and their domestic games in Germany. If that's the way, then the expectation is that they win here this evening and maybe lose to Bamberg at the weekend. Here's your officials for this evening's game. Tomas Jasovicius from Lithuania, Sergei Belyakov from Russia, and Anastasios Manos from Greece. They'll be patrolling the hardwood, making sure everything is above board, as we are now under 3 minutes away from the opening tip here in the Saveria Arena in Hungary. And they were treated to a win on game day 2 against PAOK 76-66. Here's your starting 5 for the away team though. Bonn: Subotic, Frazier, DeLeo, Brownig and Bartolo. That'll be the starting 5 for Telekom Baskets Bonn. And there's their head coach, Thomas Pesch. First season as head coach of Bonn. Came across from Alba Berlin, where he spent a couple of seasons. And certainly one of the younger faces patrolling the sidelines for a team in the Basketball Champions League. Just 37 years old is Thomas Pesch. See final preparations, and here's the starting 5 for Szombathely. It's Redic, Curry, Washington, Benka and Hooker as well. Pretty impressive, strong starting 5 from the home team, and the home crowd will be hoping that they extend their home record to 2 wins, 0 losses. That's what they want to see from their team this evening. Just 1 minute away as we dive into the huddles now. This is coach Gáspár Korn for Szombathely. Plenty of experience, won the Hungarian Championship last season with Szombathely. Previously coached Petra Olympia in Slovenia, won the league and the cup with them back in 2017. He'll be hoping to bring more trophies. How he'd love to come away with the Basketball Champions League trophy at the end of the season. What a huge, huge honour that would be for this Hungarian side. As the starting 5s will now make their way to centre court, and while they do, my chance to tell you the best way to keep up to date with all the Basketball Champions League action is by downloading the official Basketball Champions League app. It's available on Android and iOS, so get your phones out now. You'll get all your stats, your news, your views. You'll also get some highlight plays and videos, pretty much every piece of content you could ever want from the Basketball Champions League, all in one app. So get your phones out, get that downloaded. Like I said, available on iOS and Android and completely free of charge. Enables you to stay on top of all the proceedings here in the Basketball Champions League. Moments away from the opening tip here in the Savaria Arena in Hungary. And here we go, game day 4 underway. Szombathely taking on Bonn in Hungary in Group D. Nice pass inside and a nice way to start the game for the home team as Javonte Reddick gets the scoring underway. DeLeo to the basket, strong flip, just a scoop off the glass is good to go for DeLeo. Fluid start to this game for both teams, they're moving the ball well, getting options inside. First foul called, that was going to be, I think, chalked up for Martin Brownick. Likely to be an interesting battle between Reddick and Brownick tonight. That might be one of the on-court battles to watch. Curry inside, skips it to the weak side for him. Hooker now stuck with the ball. Reddick will have to take a fadeaway one-footer and deals with it with ease. Javonte Reddick already come to play, averaging 14 points and 4 rebounds a game. Had a good game last week as well, 12 points against Zaragoza. DeLeo now goes inside. Szombathely comes back out to DeLeo. DeLeo looked like he pulled at that a little bit. Wasn't really set, but the offensive rebound is scooped up by Bartolo. Oh, and it's almost stolen away by Reddick. Brownick not able to seal him out. And here's the little one-footed fadeaway, very Nowitzki-esque way to finish a play. Frazier to DeLeo. It's gone off the hand of Hooker, but that's a shot clock violation before it got out of bounds. So turnover ball. Szombathely will take possession. Oh, and the pass is straight and can't be held on to. Little miscommunication there between, I think it was Devon Washington and Reddick. Bartolo now. Back to Szombathely, being guarded closely by Washington. He hands it off to Frazier. The loose ball falls into the hands of Bartolo. He'll pull up for the jumper. He's off target, and the rebound's pulled in by Quinton Hooker. Szombathely feel like they've taken early control of this game. And a foul is going to get called on Szombathely there for Bonn. Second team foul of the quarter already for Bonn as they struggle to lock down Javonte Szombathely. Ball inbounded. Short corner jumper rattles around, is no good, but just the pure strength from Hooker is enough to grab the rebound, but can't connect with a reverse lay-in. DeLeo, a little hesitation and a stutter. It's stripped away though, and Szombathely out of the races. Nice pass inside, and fluid basketball from the home team. See Washington finish off the transition. Ron Curry's going to get called for the open floor foul. As we see a replay of his pass inside to Washington, and beautiful full flow basketball there from Szombathely. Frazier hands it off to Szombathely. Back up to Brownick. Brownick turns quickly inside with a one-handed flush. And it was all off that first step for Martin Brownick. Reddick kicks it out. A wing three is good for Ron Curry. And the home team and the home crowd are up for this one. 5-point lead, just over 3 minutes gone in the first quarter. On Szombathely, that little shake, that little shimmy was enough to draw the foul from Curry. That's going to be his second, I think. Or is it his first? Ball movement now as Szombathely puts the three up. He's off target, and Telekom Baskets Bonn look a little bit rattled at the moment, not settled into their rhythm as the home team have had it all their own way. Benker moves the ball back round now to Washington. He's going to feed the post, and wide open Javonte Redick, and you cannot give Redick that much space and not expect him to capitalize fully. Frazier to Browning. Browning, low post. Oh, that's a tough shot by the big man. You have a feeling he's saying whatever Redick can do for Szombathely, I can do the same for Bonn. Curry now. Kicks it back out. Good ball movement. The three's no good. And Bonn out at the races. Oh, nice interception by Washington, though. He read that transition very well indeed. Gets it back into the wing now to Benker for three. Oh, in and out. You heard the crowd. They thought that one had dropped. And Javonte Redick just caught on the wrong side of Bojan Szombathely. And once you're caught on that side, you don't have much choice, as we see Coach Pesh there on the sideline saying it's okay, I'm liking what we're doing. We'll get back into that one. There's the interception from Washington earlier. Bartolo now. Skips it all the way across. Tough pass and tough to catch as well. Browning from outside is no good, and Washington seems to be everywhere at the moment, doing absolutely everything for his team. Hooker now into the hands of Washington. Great defense by Bonn at the moment. Benker, short corner two is no good, and Browning will pull down the rebound for Bonn. Is this Bonn's chance to come back into this one strongly in the second half of this first quarter? DeLeo now fields Browning into the post. He's going to go up against Redick. Nice defense by Redick, and it's stolen away. I didn't have to tell you who the steal was from. That one was Washington yet again. He really is all over the box score at the moment. Himself a rebound, 2 assists, and 2 steals in the opening 6 minutes of this game. As we see Daquan Lake come in. Redick's gone to the bench. Benker now hands it to Washington. He hands it back to Curry. And Szombathely being a bit more patient on the offensive end in this possession. Washington, little fake, takes the three. No good this time, though. But the rebound battle inside is won by Daquan Lake against Bartolo. Lake's only just come into the game, and he's already made himself a nuisance in the paint on the offensive end. Really fighting against 2 Bonn players there in Bartolo and Browning. Benker puts it outside to Lake. He's going to hand it back to Curry. Into the hands of Hooker for 3. Off target, no joy from that. And at the moment, neither team are really having a huge amount of success away from the basket offensively. It's all close range stuff that's working. As we say, Zimmerman with his first handle on the offensive end. McKinney-Jones now almost with the alley-oop, but Zimmerman fluffs the line. Oh, strong drive to the basket. Silat Benker just saw the lane open up, and he took full advantage. Just exploded to the basket, floats up, and draws the foul. He'll go to the line for the and-1 play. Not sure who the foul was on. We'll wait to see on that one. Benka goes to the line for free throw. 75% from the free throw line prior to this evening's game. Rattles around the ring, comes away, but the rebound is brought in eventually by Daquan Lake. And Szombathely's lead extends to 9. Yoshiko Sabu now on the ball. Looked like he was going to shoot the 3. Recycles it to Simons instead. Sabu now trying to shake Zoltan Pearl. The foul's going to be called on Pearl. He's only just come into the game. That's his first scratch on the box score in the foul column. And it's just a crossover that caught him. Change of direction from Sabu. Simons to inbound the ball to Sabu. Guarded again by Pearl. He's going to shake him again. No, he's looking for a pass. Managed to find Simons for 3. He's off track though, but the loose ball falls into the hands of Binatful. Sabu for 3 from the corner. And he's made an impact since he's come on. A more aggressive, direct, offensive-focused player. Yoshiko Sabu. Pearl is going to draw the foul in return back from Sabu. And I think Bonn are in the penalty, so that's going to draw 2 free throws from Pearl at the line. Only 33% from the line so far in the Basketball Champions League. Averaging 14.7 points, so 4.7 rebounds and nearly 4 assists a game. He had a big game last week against Zaragoza. 15 points in that one. But game day 2, their win over PAOK, he was critical. 23 points, 9 rebounds and 5 assists for Zoltan Pearl in that one. Connects with the second of his 2 attempts. Just 2.5 minutes left in his first quarter now, and the Szombathely lead is at 8 points. Zimmerman sets the screen, Sabu inside to the corner. McKinney-Jones gets the fading away too. Not an easy shot, but executed it to perfection. His first points of the game. Oh, and the basket is good for Daquan Lake. His second bucket of the night, and he's going to go to the line for the extra 1. Let's have a look at the replay. Wonderful pick and roll, and unfortunately for Curry, he came across too late. Was inside the restricted zone, I think. Couldn't take the charge from there and was still moving. So Curry's going to get charged with that foul, and that's going to send Lake to the line for the bonus shot. 67% from the free throw line prior to this evening's game. Just his first pro season. Daquan Lake graduated out of Arizona State in the summer and already starting to show his worth here this evening for Szombathely. Long jumper from Simons is no good. Lake loses the rebound though, as Sabu is tough. Into the hands of Curry. Sorry, not Curry, McKinney-Jones. Comes back out now, Binatful. And Sabu will take his time. Just under 1.5 minutes left in the first quarter. Sabu trying to shake his defender, but Valady is staying with him. The pass inside looks good, but the shot clock's going to run out. And that's just flat out great defense from Szombathely. And you can hear the crowd's appreciation for that as well. The stands have slowly but surely filled up, and the noise levels have increased with it, as they look to put the pressure on that man's team, Coach Pesh for Bonn. Brandon Frazier now. Sorry, Zoltan Pearl now with the ball. Goes to the corner. Varady drains the 3 from the corner pocket. And this quarter has all been about the home team. Bonn haven't established themselves yet in this game, and they trail by 12. Oh, and that's where you go when things are going against you. Old school back to the basket play by Steven Zimmerman. Just 40 seconds left in this first quarter now. Pearl slices to the basket and draws the foul, and it's a smart play by Pearl. Bonn are in the penalty already, and go to the basket, force them to foul you, and get your points from the free-throw line. As I said, Zoltan Pearl might be coming off the bench, but he's so important for Szombathely. He's bringing all his international experience as well. Played in the World Cup qualifiers for Hungary. Averaged 10.8 points, 3.6 rebounds and 3.2 assists across those World Cup qualifiers. Would have played against the best that Europe has to offer in those. No doubt that will help him this season in the Basketball Champions League. Connects with the first, misses the second. There's about a 6-second differential between the first quarter clock and the shot clock. So Szombathely will still get another shot. Floated inside and knocked away, but it's off the foot of Benedict Varady. Can't really criticize the hustle. We see the knockaway here by Daquan Lake. He's had a great first quarter. 5 points, 3 rebounds in the first quarter for him. As we see Bonn now into the corner. Benatfel way off target with that one, and the foul's going to be called on Szombathely. Not sure who it's on. I think it's going to be chalked up to Oliver Biro. And they're in the bonus, so that's going to send Zimmerman to the line. He's only a 40% free throw shooter so far in the Basketball Champions League this season. 10 points, 8 rebounds last week against Zaragoza, though. Misses the first, so maybe not that bad a foul. First season with Bonn for Zimmerman, after playing for the Westchester Knicks in the G League in the States last year. His first experience of the Basketball Champions League. First quarter clock down to 5, and he steps out of bounds. That's great defense from Benatfel. Poor offense from Varady. And Bonn are going to have a chance now. 4 seconds is an age in basketball, particularly when you've got the ball from that side. Could they reduce Szombathely's lead to single digits? That wouldn't be a bad quarter if they can. Here comes McKinney Jones. Is he going to get it off? He is! Are they going to call that goaltend? No, they're saying it's on the way up. It's a great block if it is. And Daquan Lake's block finishes our first quarter. The home team's Szombathely 24, our visitors Bonn 14. A big first quarter for the home side. Here are your shooting stats from that first quarter. Neither team lighting it up from outside. Free throws also proving a problem. But the points from inside, high efficiency from both of these teams. They're looking to go to work in the paint, and I don't blame them. When you've got players the likes of Reddick, who we'll see here, he got things underway for the home team Szombathely. And then we've seen Zimmerman go to work for Bonn as well. And Browning had a good first quarter until he picked up a couple of fouls. We see some of the replays here from this first quarter. And yeah, it really was Szombathely's first quarter in particular. Reddick. But plenty of highlight plays and big plays from the Szombathely players. But for Bonn, that was probably their highlight of the first quarter, as Browning just found the lane and threw it down with some authority. This isn't what I think Bonn were expecting from a first quarter clash. You have to bear in mind that Szombathely have not been an offensive powerhouse so far in this tournament. They've only scored 76 points is their high. They're averaging 71 points a game, and they've scored 24 in this first quarter. And to be honest, it's a bit of a shock, because the way they've scored them, they look exceptionally confident. They don't look like a nervous team at all, like you would expect a team that are struggling to score. They've come out with the utmost confidence, and it's paid dividends. So here we go, start of the second quarter here in Hungary. Into the low post now for Szombathely. Right hand hook shot's a little bit heavy, but Zimmerman gets the rebound. His is too heavy as well, and Corn Lake just picks up where he left off and rips down the rebound. Pearl now inside to Lake, and the foul is going to be called on the rotating Benjamin Simons. Simons just trying to help across, but he was just a little bit late to the party on that one. Corn Lake, a really exciting prospect here from Szombathely, and first pro season, and this might be a bit of a breakout game for him. Connects with both the free throws, and Szombathely's lead is back up to 12. Subo now. Handed it back to Szombathely. Zimmerman comes across and sets a screen. Back to Szombathely. Goes inside, doesn't get it to go, and the ball falls into the hands of Varady. Now to Pearl. Pearl drives inside, and one for Zoltan Pearl. And Szombathely are feeding off the energy this crowd are bringing. The noise is wonderful inside Savaria Arena, and timeout already been called by Telekom Baskets Bonn. They trail by 14. Just 1 minute gone in this second quarter. And Coach Pesh wants to talk things over with his team. Let's jump into his huddle and listen in.
Guys, offensively, look inside. But we need to run. We need to run. We're doing it slow. Let's get offense that gets to the basket, and let's focus on finishing. We have opportunities, but let's finish. Let's rebound. Defensively, watch out for the slip thing. They're slipping every time, so it's one-on-one responsibility of the guards. Control the roll. Hey, focus. Let's go.
Let's go, let's go. Let's go. Too easy. Together on three. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Hey.
Very clear message from Coach Pesh there. Offensively, get out and run, and you can't blame him for saying that. They seem to be progressing the ball exceptionally slowly. You have the speed in the team, particularly when you have someone like Yoshiko Sabu at your point guard position. And as he said, defensively, maybe it's time just to play straight up defense. Let's not switch, let's not hedge. They're slipping the screens. So let's just stick to our assignments as we see Pearl go to the line to try and convert the and one play. And he does. That's his 6th point of the night, along with 2 assists. He's played under 4.5 minutes. That's an impressive production from Pearl so far. Sabu now to Szombathely. Comes back round to McKinney-Jones. Szombathely wants to go to work against Varady. Hands it back. McKinney-Jones from the corner and nails the 3. Exactly the response that Coach Pesh wanted out of that timeout. Maybe that's the way back into this one for Bonn from the perimeter. Pearl almost throws it away. Varady scoops up the loose ball. Inside to Pearl, and he hesitates just long enough. Just hung in the air, waited for the defense to commit, then released. McKinney-Jones from outside, no good. Szombathely with a rebound. He's short with a soft right hand, though. Szombathely in full control here in Hungary. Pearl almost traveling, holds on to his pivot foot though. Varady for 3, off target, and that foul is going to be called on, I think, Oliver Biro. As Trey McKinney-Jones goes up and claims the rebound. Jay, you can see Biro flying through the air to come back in, as we see Ron Curry check back in for Szombathely, as Biro will go to the bench. And Bonn at the moment look a little bit shell-shocked here as they trail by 14. Just over 2 minutes gone in this second quarter. McKinney-Jones feeds it inside to Browning. Browning just barreling his way to the basket. Pure aggression. Doesn't get it to go, though. And the soft touch from Szombathely is too soft, and the foul is going to be called as Browning just goes to work inside. And I think it's a wise move by Coach Pesch to bring Browning back into the game. He brings an aggression and a hustle that Bonn miss without him. Hits the first of his 2 free throws. 71% from the free throw line prior to this evening. Browning had a great year last year for Bonn. One of just those 3 returning players as he misses the second. Ended up getting an all-star nomination in the German league. By the looks of how he's played so far this evening, you can see why. Blake to Pearl. Tries to Euro-step his way in, has to come back out. The 3 ball is no good from Szombathely, and Browning once again brings down the rebound and initiates the transition. He listened to Coach Pesch, exactly what he asked for. He said, get out and run. But unfortunately, McKinney-Jones didn't listen to the other part of the timeout, which said, focus on your finishing. We're getting the opportunities, we're just not finishing them. And again, McKinney-Jones misses what should be a gimme for a player of his ability. It looks like that's going to force a change. Yeah, you can see there, good call by the officials. Curry with his foot out of bounds. Brandon Frazier has come back into the game as McKinney-Jones goes to the bench for Bonn. DeLeo now with the point guard responsibilities. Oh, the pass inside is sweet, and the finish by Bartolo is just as sweet. Down to an 11-point lead now for Szombathely. Oh, Varady looked to float it inside to Reddick, but Reddick didn't read this one. Bonner out at the races to Browning for 2, and this is exactly what Coach Pesch asked his team to do. Get out and run, get the easy scores, and Browning really has been the initiator of that. And Coach Gasper Akorn for Szombathely seen enough. He wants to talk things over and get the transition defense sorted for his team. Let's listen to his huddle.
Hey, but put a little more pressure. Hey. We kill 2 fouls. They are running in fast break. We receive. Layup. We receive. Cut. 4 points from nothing. This day. On this way is not going, okay? Second, they are going on rebound. But we have to rebound. When you grab, then you have fast break. Hey, don't rush. I use this foul. Put more pressure, hey.
And you have a feeling this game is going to come down to fast breaks, how each team initiates them and how each team defends them. As you see the Szombathely faithful in the crowd, whipping up the atmosphere, which no doubt their team have fed off so far here this evening. Hooking out with the ball for Szombathely. Filipovic sets the screen and leaks, and again, that's exactly what they've done both. Filipovic for 3. He's off right, but the rebound falls into the hands of Varady. And he's going to slow it down and use the shot clock. Reddick now with the screen. Back into the hands of Hooker. Traveling violation going to be called. You can hear the frustration from the crowd. I think they're appreciating that the momentum is starting to tip towards the visitors. Telekom Baskets Bonn. Oh, and the pass is easily intercepted by Reddick there. Curry now looks down the lane. Nice, zipped past to Varady. No good from the shot though, and Szombathely continued to struggle from the perimeter. Frazier out to Szombathely. Szombathely, little fake pass, drives it inside. Oh wow, look to flush it, but it gets knocked away. The rebound falls for Bartolo, but he's fouled and will go to the line for 2 shots. Let's look at a replay there. Oh, he did look to put it down on top of Filipovic, but instead it fell into the hands of Bartolo, and he worked hard to draw the foul. He's at the line for 2 now. This is his first 3 thrown of the Basketball Champions League, and known more as a defensive specialist is Jorma Bartolo. 2-time Defensive Player of the Year last season and the season before that in Germany. Reddick now. Ball comes back out to Curry, back inside to Reddick, playing a little 2-man game here, and good defense in the end by Browning, and De Leo gets out with the pass. Wonderful transition offense into the hands of Szombathely. Browning did well to just legally clear the way for Szombathely. Nice pass to Varady. Good ball movement. Wide open for the 3, in and out, and Szombathely continue to struggle from outside. It's hurting their chances, and their lead is fading away. It's down to just 7 now. Curry for 3, and they break the curse. The lids come off the basket from range, with Curry draining the 3. Foul's going to be called on Curry, though, as Szombathely hits the floor. And that's going to send him to the bench with his 3rd foul, as the little step back gives him enough room to drain that 3. Needs to play smarter basketball than that. Even if you disagree, you don't give the officials any chance to call the foul on you when you're already in foul trouble. Szombathely now to Frazier. And De Leo has been fouled by Benatful, and you can hear what the home crowd think of that. They're making the officials fully aware of it, as well as De Leo. Sorry, fouled by Hooker, as De Leo will head to the line for 2 shots. Let's have a look. Yeah, he has got his left hand. Hooker has got his left hand across the stomach of De Leo. It's the right call by the officials. He's impeding his progress to the basket. And De Leo drains it from the line. 8-point lead now for Szombathely. And their offense has slowed up somewhat in this 2nd quarter. Varady now. Hooker into the corner. And a stagnant offense for Szombathely. And it's going to be a bad pass from Benker, I think it was. And Washington couldn't hold on to it. Everything's falling the way of Bonn at the moment, as we see McKinney Jones, and I think, was it Zimmerman coming back in as well? Zoltan Pearl checks into the game as Varady goes to the bench. McKinney Jones now. Oh, nice backdoor pass, and Zimmerman flushes it with 2 hands. And Bonn looked all at sea in the 1st quarter. They seemed to have found their rhythm here in the 2nd on both ends of the floor. Well, Szombathely started well, and things have got a little bit tricky in this second quarter. They've gone back to their earlier ways of not being able to find a basket, and that's a big shot. Quinton Hooker, not an easy shot either, gets it to go. Zimmerman pick and roll with Frazier. Bartolo almost loses the handle, back out to Zimmerman for the long two. He's off right. Pearl pulls in the rebound, his first rebound of the evening. Into the corner, Hooker for three, off short. Good chase out defense by the big man Zimmerman for Bonn. Bartolo now stolen away by Redick. That's good hands, and he's initiated the fast break for Szombathely. Oh, wonderful Euro step, but a poor finish by Silat Benka. And both teams have struggled from some poor finishing, some great moves to get to the basket, but just poor execution in the final phase as Hooker gets called for the foul. Into the game comes Benatful for Bonn, as Brandon Frazier will go to the line for two shots, as Szombathely are in the penalty. No good with the first of his two attempts, only shooting 50% prior to this evening from the free throw line. His second experience of the Basketball Champions League, played for Avtodor back in the 16-17 season. Had a good season for them, 11.5 points, 6.5 assists was what he achieved in the Basketball Champions League back then. Brandon Frazier. Pearl trying to fight his way to the basket, and Frazier's going to get called for the foul. Well, nothing in front of him there. Hooker will look for something now. A little pick and roll with Redick, but it's good cover by Zimmerman. And McKinney Jones now to Benatful. Gets the two to go, and Bonn are in the ascendancy. Szombathely's lead is now just 5 points. Washington in and out from outside. Remember, Szombathely held a 15-point lead earlier in the game. McKinney Jones fakes, drives inside, floats, and the right hand is good to go. And Bonn are absolutely flying. 48.2 seconds left in this first half. And Bonn have brought it down to just a one-possession ball game now here at the Savario Arena in Szombathely, Hungary. And the home team want to talk it over. Let's jump into Coach Akorn's timeout and listen to what he has to say.
48 seconds, we have to survive. Then we will talk in locker room, okay? Guys, they are aggressive. We have to protect the ball much more, okay? They go just short red, immediately closing the line. It's good, we are open. We will score, it's no problem. But defensively we fall down. Now we play. Immediately. Fist 4.
Interesting opening gambit there from Coach Gasper Akorn. He's basically said, look, we've got 48 seconds that we need to survive. Let's get to the locker room. Then we've got 10 minutes to correct the wrongs. And you can understand that. Szombathely can hold on to the lead going into the halftime locker room. Weirdly, they should really see that as a victory, even though they held a 15-point lead earlier in this first half. Any form of lead now would be a bonus for Szombathely to take into the halftime locker room, for them to rebuild and go again. Pearl trying to shake up Frazier, comes inside, it's out to Hooker. Hooker doesn't take the three, drives in. That's a tough move that he gets the roll, and you just see him glare at the official looking for the foul. Only about a 1 second differential between shot clock and game clock. I have a feeling Bonn are going to slow it down. They want the last shot of this half. Brandon Frazier now hands it over to Brownick. Brownick into the hands of Simons. Offensive foul is going to be called on Frazier as he pushes away from Pearl to get space. He's saying his jersey was being held by Pearl. Change will be made by Bonn as Benapfel comes back in and Simons goes to the bench. Pearl now, what can he do? 6 seconds remaining in the first half. Crossover, drive to the basket. It's good for Renick on the putback, and that is exactly what Coach Gasper Akorn wanted from his team. He said, look, we can take it to the locker room and discuss it at the half-time break. Szombathely 40, Telekom Baskets Bonn 33. What a game of swings and roundabouts in this first half. A huge 20 minutes of action still to come. Here are your game stats. As you can see, good shooting inside from Szombathely. Bonn not shooting the ball particularly well from anywhere, but their sheer hustle and fight have got them back into this one. 9 offensive rebounds helps their cause as well as they lead the overall offensive rebounding battle 21-18. Here are your top scorers. No player is on double digits yet for either team. Redick leading things for Szombathely and Jones leading things for Bonn. Remember, this is game day 4 of the Basketball Champions League here at the Savaria Arena in Szombathely, Hungary. Bonn entered this one second in Group D with 2 wins, 1 loss. Szombathely 6th, 1 win and 2 losses chalked up to their name so far. Szombathely had struggled offensively in the Basketball Champions League so far this season. They seem to have put that behind them, putting on a 40-point display in the first half. Even more so in the first quarter when they scored 24 points. Things have slowed down a little, but at the half-time break, they still have a 7-point lead. Their biggest lead of that first half was 15 points, though. So we do have to credit Bonn for fighting their way back in. They brought it down to just 3 points in the closing stages, but a couple of big plays from Szombathely was enough to get their lead back out to 7. For them, Pearl is leading the scoring with 8, alongside Redick with 8 as well. Redick's also got 4 rebounds to his name and 3 steals. Besides that, Lake has 7 points. Curry has 6. Lake also has 6 rebounds as well. For Telekom Baskets Bonn, their leading scorer is Martin Brownick with 7 points, alongside McKinney Jones with 7 as well. Brownick has 4 rebounds to his name, whilst McKinney Jones has really chalked up some stats. 3 rebounds, 2 assists and 1 steal along with his 7 points. But it hasn't been the half that we expected from Bonn. They would have entered confident. Bar the 1-point loss to Brindisi, they've been near perfect this season in the Basketball Champions League. And they've had to fight their way back into this one. As I said, Szombathely have led for pretty much the entire game so far. Their biggest lead was by 15. Huge amount of that coming from the paint. But you have to really give a huge amount of respect to Coach Thomas Pesch and his team, because Bonn have battled hard to get back into this game. And that's why they only trail by 7 now. They were down by just 3 in the closing stages, but Szombathely opened the lead up again. As we see some of the highlights from that first half. And you do have to give Pearl a fair bit of credit. That was the final play of the first half, as Pearl didn't get the lay-in, but Redick got the putback off the back of it. Still plenty more action to come here at the Savario Arena in Hungary. Here are some of the first half highlights from Martin Brownig. Probably the biggest one of the game was this, just a quick first step and an explosion to the basket, giving him the one-handed jam. He's got 7 points, shooting 3 from 5 from the field, 1 from 2 from the free-throw line. 4 rebounds, 3 defensive, 1 offensive. Only on 1 foul as well. Only efficiency rating of 6 though, in the 12.5 minutes that he's played in that first half. They'll need an awful lot more from him in the second half. And they'll be leaning on him heavily in the clutch moments. He brings some aggression, some physicality to the front court and the paint, and has caused Szombathely issues to defend. Just his pure upper body strength, as you see here. Has a soft touch as well, some finesse to the game on the spin. And that's the top scorer for Bonn. For the home team, Szombathely. 2 players sitting on 8 points. Zoltan Pearl and Reddick. Here's Pearl as he slashes to the basket and gets the score. Remember, Pearl off the bench. He's only played under 11 minutes in the game so far. But he really was a firecracker coming off the bench. Really ignited what Szombathely were doing. Pushed them on. So he's on 8 points, 2 from 3 from the field. He scored 4 of his 8 from the free-throw line, 4 from 5 from the charity stripe. He's got a rebound, 2 assists to his name as well. Only 1 personal foul. An efficiency rating of 9 after just about 11 minutes of action. And Pearl has had a big Champions League, Basketball Champions League so far this season. Last week scoring 15 against Zaragoza. Game day 2, he scored 23 against PAOK. And you have a feeling he's going to have a big second half if Szombathely are going to come away with the win. But 20 more minutes to go here. Szombathely 40, Telekom Baskets Bonn 33.
Still from McKissick. He's got up ahead of Steve. McKissick. Attack of the ring goes up high. Running down, and it's good for 2. Sembruz. Right through the middle. Howard, Sembruz. Big time slam straight through the middle. Unbelievable! Look at this!
Offensive rebound, of course. Ikas has been good, but he turns it over. Ball kept alive. Marty goes down the floor and gets to the end of the runway and takes off and throws it down for 2. Kelvin Martin gets off the 2 feet. There's a little windmill action and throws it down.
And a bender. Almeida in the lane. Almeida for the win. Doesn't get it, but the tip back is in. And now, remember, they win the game with Hankins here in overtime. I can't believe it.
He stares it down. You remember the name. It is Abdullah. The elevation, and he stares it down on the floor. You remember Abdullah Lund.
And what a tough catch by Martin, and he puts it up! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness, he's made it! Was it Stone in the end? Unbelievable. These guys refuse to lose tonight.
in Hungary, and in particular the Savario Arena for game day 4 of the Basketball Champions League Group D game between Falco Szombathely and Telekom Baskets Bonn. After an impressive first quarter where the home team Szombathely outscored Bonn 24-14, we had a bit more of a cagey second quarter, and Bonn drew that double-digit lead that Szombathely had down to just 7 points now. At one stage, Szombathely were up by 15. And also at one stage late on in that second quarter, Bonn brought it down to just a 3-point lead. But at the halftime break, it's a 7-point lead for the home team. It's on the back of big plays from the likes of Zoltan Pearl and Javonte Redick. 8 points each for them. Let's jump into that Szombathely huddle now and listen to Coach Akor.
You full sprint, go to pick and roll, okay?
Trey, you're here, Boyan here. So we're running it for Trey. Trey, you coming out. When you have a curl, go for the curl attack. If not, Martin, come set the rescreen. Then come up, you have this side. Boyan and Yosha on this side, space out. Up, shooter for Trey. So Martin, open up opposite of Trey.
Let's go, fellas. Together on three. One, two.
Then follow that the last guy no offensive foul. You understand or not? Hey, Jew is the sign. Okay. Hey guys. Defense and rebound can win the game.
Let's go,
no
fellas.
offense,
Let's go.
no chance.
Play hard. Get the arrow.
Plenty of fans in the crowd enjoying the game, and they're certainly making themselves heard here in the Szombathely Arena in Hungary. Wonderful part of the world, and certainly basketball mad here in Szombathely. Bonn were back on the floor first, ready to go. It's always a good sign when you're the trailing team and you just want to get business done. You want to get started early and fight your way back in. It's for Szombathely now to try and rediscover some of that first quarter form. So here we go, game day 4 of the Basketball Champions League here in Szombathely. Second half is underway, a Szombathely lead by 7. Opening play is going to be good defense by Bonn, but Szombathely will get the baseline ball after it was almost intercepted by Devon Washington. Just 7 now left on the shot clock for Zoltan Pearl to work with. Offensive foul is going to be called. That one chalked up to Javonte Redick. Big man looked shocked. Yeah, he didn't quite establish, and if anything, if you're Redick, you chalk that one up to Pearl. He didn't wait. As a guard, you've got to wait for your big man to set before you make the move. Otherwise, you are just offering him up for that offensive foul. McKinney Jones slides inside, but the angle was too tough. Washington now to Hooker. Washington establishing himself in the post, but good defense by Sabu. Oh, nice pass inside. Good ball movement. Washington for 3. Can't finish off what was a wonderful offensive structure by Szombathely. Traveling violation is going to be called. That one is on Simons. Szombathely will have another chance to increase their lead. 1 minute gone, no scorers yet. Pearl for 3, and he does increase the lead. Up to double digits again for Szombathely. He's also up to double digits himself as well. Now 11 points for Zoltan Pearl. Oh, an interception. Hooker almost loses his footing. Gets it back. And the easy 2. Stilan Benka profits from that. And the foul is going to be called on Benka as he realized that both himself and Hooker were out of play. Wonderful interception from Hooker. Almost lost his footing there. Did lose his footing there, but had enough about him to tap it back to his teammate for the 2. Szombathely back up to a 12-point lead now. Sabu for 3, off target. Rebound though for Browning. Another attempt from the corner. That's no good for McKinney Jones, and Szombathely back out of the races. Pearl comes back out. Szombathely almost throw it away themselves, but they'll slow it down in the hands of Hooker now. He'll draw the foul off Sabu. First team foul of the quarter for Bonn. Just over 2 minutes gone here in this third quarter. Bonn yet to score in this quarter. And Szombathely lead has extended by 5 points. Now into the hands of Benker, no good. Reddick with a tough rebound and recycles it back to the top. Pearl now drives inside. Good defense though, shown by Benjamin Simons. Almost stolen away by Washington. Only can tap it out of bounds though. Good read by him. Sabu now, Szombathely. Too heavy-handed, and the rebound is pulled down by Reddick. Looks like Hooker might have caught an elbow off Reddick there, his teammate. Pearl. Quick ball movement inside to Reddick. Oh, lovely little pump fake. Just ducks under the defense and gets the kiss off the glass for another 2 for Reddick. Stolen away, Washington to Pearl. Hands it back. Hooker for 3. This is big. No joy. The rebound battle is eventually run by Yoshiko Sabu for Bonn. Simons for 3, and that is exactly what he needed. Bonn looked like they were on the ropes then, but that's brought it back to just an 11-point lead for Szombathely. Benker inside, and the basket is good on the continuation from the foul. The high pick and roll with Reddick opens the lane up, and Szombathely caught with his hand in the cookie jar. Gets called for the foul. Benker will go to the line for 3 throws. Another one of these Szombathely players who was part of the Hungarian World Cup qualification squad. Played in 12 games in that qualification campaign, averaging 6.8 points. Picks up his 7th point of the game here this evening. And Szombathely back up to a 14-point lead now. They've started this 3rd quarter like they did the first. Sabu for 3. Off the back of the iron and away, and Pearl once again with the rebound. Washington into Reddick. He's got the mismatch being guarded by Sabu. He's going to take him to the hole, and 1. Javonte Reddick. And the noise in the arena becomes deafening as their team are fully in the ascendancy again. Reddick will head to the line for the bonus shot. Sabu is saying he played straight up defense. Reddick up to 12 points, 6 boards, 3 steals already in the game. Make that 13 points for him now. Dominant performance by the big man. Sabu calls the offense as Varady is into the game to guard him. Frazier's also in for Bonn, and it's stolen away by Varady. He's going to take him to the rack. Can't get the and 1, but does earn himself a trip to the line for 2 shots. And Frazier picks up his 3rd personal foul. Smart play by Varady, drew the body contact. If he makes both, that'll be a game-high lead for Szombathely. 15 points. Things don't get easier either if you're Bonn, as Szombathely brought Daquan Lake back into the game. 7 points, 6 rebounds in his first 7.5 minutes in that first half. Frazier now. Little crossover opens the lane up. Draws Lake up into the air, but the extended arm is too much for him to arc over. And he misses the jumper. Varady now. Waving defenders away, wants to pick and roll with Lake. Uses it, steps inside. Gets it to Curry, to Lake. The foul's going to be called, and Quan Lake will go to the line for 2 shots. And you have to be impressed by the depth of this Szombathely team, as Coach Pesh will call a timeout for Bonn. He's seen enough as his team are once again pushed onto the ropes halfway through this third quarter.
Like crazy chickens and being scared.
Let's listen to his huddle.
Get to the paint and be strong. And when we get there, pass it back out or finish strong. And take care of the ball. We're lazy. Get to the ball. Be there mentally.
Hey, we need a cutter when someone's not. A lot of times we're just standing and watching.
Start picking up defense intensity at half court or full court. But pick up intensity so everyone is there. Wake up!
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Together on 3. 1, 2, 3. Together.
And as an absolute addict of basketball, I love to see timeouts like that with coaches, just pure passion. Nothing too much, just literally showing his team how much it means to him, trying to get across that they've got to pick up this intensity, they've got to want it more than the home team do. And at the moment, Szombathely are completely dominant because they want the game more than Bonn do. Will that timeout work from Coach Pesh now, though? Has it fired his guys up to go through the gears a little bit and dig deep, show what they've got in the final 15 minutes of this one? They trail by 19 now. Biggest deficit of the game as Zimmerman picks up his 3rd foul. 5 minutes to play in the 3rd. And Daquan Lake goes to the line for 2. Gets the roll on the 1st. And the 2nd takes his tally to 9 with his 6 rebounds as well. He has been a handful this evening, has Daquan Lake. That's a nice foul. Drawn by Brandon Frazier on Varady. His 2nd personal foul, and it's the fake that does it. Drags him forward. And then he steps up to shoot the ball. He's trying to claim he's in the act. And the officials have accepted that. Hits the 1st. Needs to be careful, though. I think he almost stepped over the line before the ball went through the hoop on that attempt. Misses the 2nd, though, and the rebound is good for Washington. 20-point lead now for the home team, Szombathely, here on game day 4 of the Basketball Champions League. 4.5 minutes left in the 3rd. Do Bonn have enough in the gas tank to fight their way back into this game again? Long 3 from Varady is no good, and that's much better defense by Bonn. Szombathely got nowhere near the basket in that possession. De Leo's drawing the foul. We'll wait to see who that's against. Silab Benker has got his hand up trying to claim it. Back into the hands of De Leo. Being guarded by Curry, but it opens up for him, but it's stolen away. Good hands once again by Varady. Varady will slow things down, tries to find a lane, kicks it out to Curry instead. He's off target, and once again, Bonn's defense has held firm. Much, much better on the defensive end from Bonn, and that will be the foundations they build their comeback on. Almost inside to Zimmerman, he holds on to it. Oh, it's a tough play. Steven Zimmerman. Real battle in the paint, but he gets his rewards. And a beautiful, soft, short-range jumper. Varade works hard to get inside. Foul's going to be called on Frazier. I think that may be his fourth. It is. They're going to cost him his place on the floor, as I think Bonatful will come in for him. McKinney Jones has come into the game as well. Not sure who that's for. I think, yep, it's for Szombathely. Slightly smaller run now for Bonn. Only Zimmerman, the key big man for them. First is good for Daquan Lake. Far and away his biggest basketball Champions League game of his career. Only his fourth, but he's only averaging 3.3 points and 2 rebounds a game. And already this evening, he's up to 10 points and 7 rebounds. McKinney Jones is no good. Zimmerman tries to get a putback dunk, but once again, Lake is in the way with his 8th rebound of the evening. Just 2 rebounds shy now of a double-double. Daquan Lake. Steps out of bounds, so it's going to be a turnover ball, and Bonn's defense has definitely picked up. But is it too little too late? 2 minutes 36 left here in the third quarter. DeLeo back to Zimmerman. Bartolo drives inside, little hesitation, couple of pump fakes, but the defense don't buy it, and it's stolen away by Curry. Crossover inside, and the left-hand lay-in is good. And Szombathely's lead is at 21 points now. DeLeo, mid-range 2. Off target, it's come off the hands of Daquan Lake though, so Bonn will hold on to possession. And Simons will come into the game for Bonn. Biro is into the game for Szombathely. Zimmerman fakes the long 2, hands it off to DeLeo instead. Nice zipped pass inside. Finds the wide open for Bonatful, and someone on the rotation on the defensive end for Szombathely. Lost track of their assignment. Varady now floats inside, right hand is not soft enough, but gets his own rebound. Gonna come back out to the top. As Lake sets the screen and rolls to the basket. Varady for 3, off target. Once again, Lake pulls down the rebound. Just 1 shy of his double-double now. Daquan Lake. Curry, right hand is good as he floats through the paint. Curry to double digits with that score. Zimmerman inside, and a smart play by Killian Bonatful. Made sure he got the shot up as Filipovic is fouled him. And Bonatful will go to the line for 2 shots. Coach Acorn talking to his players on the bench, holding them to task, making sure they don't get sloppy. Remember, they had a first half lead of 15 points. And then Bonn just dragged that back down to 3 before the halftime break. Szombathely now have a 21-point lead. And Bonatful misses the first of his 2 free throws. Connects with the second. He's up to 6 points. Tonight's points are his first in this season's Basketball Champions League. Filipovic now hands it off to Curry. Curry's going to slow things down somewhat. Zips it round Varady. Filipovic back to Varady. Varady, oh, he's blocked. That's good defense and hustle by Kylian Benapfel, but it's fallen into the hands of Szombathely. That's going to be a shot clock violation. The first attempt, I don't think, touched the ring. No, they've waved away the basket. Shot clock violation. It's going to be a sideline ball for Bonn instead. Yeah, didn't touch the ring before the shot clock expired. Sabu into the game for Bonn, as is Brownig. Brownig really been quiet in this second half. 15 seconds left now. Second differential shot clock and game clock. DeLeo almost loses Curry. Browning sets the screen to assist with that. Skip pass now. McKinney. Jones is too heavy-handed, and that sums up their quarter. The long shot is no good from Szombathely. But what a big, big quarter for the home team. Outscoring Telekom Baskets Bonn 22-9 at the end of 3. Szombathely 62, Bonn 42. Wow, what a quarter for Szombathely. Their shooting percentage inside continuing to impress, 64%. Also doing the job from the free throw line. Bonn have got some questions to answer. Several aspects of their game. Defensive intensity picked up at the second part of that third quarter, but it was still left lacking, and they're only 50% from the free throw line this evening. Missed 7 attempts, which really does make a big difference in a game like this. And Coach Pesh talked about it in one of his timeouts for Bonn. You know, it pretty much was, they're running around like crazy chickens, was the phrase that he used. And very true. They didn't come with the intensity in Szombathely. They've got a game plan. They've got a focus and a structure. They've stuck to it from the opening tip to the final third quarter buzzer there. And that's what's given them their 20-point lead. They've come out with some heart and desire and some hustle. And it has worked pretty much throughout the game. This would be a big, big win from Szombathely. If they're able to get it, it would put them on the same record as Bonn, 2 wins, 2 losses after 4 games. That said, we've still got 10 more minutes to play. And I've been around the Basketball Champions League long enough to know that 10 minutes is an absolute eternity, and what you think is certain can soon come undone in a hurry here in the Basketball Champions League. But do Bonn have a trick up their sleeve? Do they have some magic left? And the men in pink and black get it done. Here's the start of the final quarter. Game day 4 here at the Savaria Arena in Szombathely. The home team leads 62-42 over Telekom Baskets Bonn. 10 minutes to play. DeLeo has it stripped away. Hooker now out of the races. Floats inside and gets the big score. Perfect way for the home team to start the final period. That's their 15th point from the fast break. Oh, wow! That's a brave shot from Benjamin Simons. Defense in his face, and he drains the big 3. Is that the way back into the game for Bonn? As DeLeo's going to get called for the foul as he ends up with a mismatch against Redick, which he didn't fancy guarding in the post. Here's the coast-to-coast from Quinton Hooker. And there's the 3 from the wing from Simons. Hooker now using the Redick screen again into the hands of Filipovic, and he hits the 3. The young man has come to play. He's had a good Basketball Champions League so far. Browning is fouled by Filipovic in the low post. That will send Brownick to the line for 2 shots. You can hear how much the crowd have enjoyed the performance of their team so far here in Hungary. And Brownick continues with the woes from the line for Bonn. Things have not gone their way from the 3-throw line. They are 7 from 16, make that 8 from 17, but under 50% from the 3-throw line makes it a tough task to win any Basketball Champions League game. Filipovic has it stripped away, regains it though, but it's a backcourt violation by him. Not really where you want the big man to pick the ball up, penned into the front court corner. Don't want anyone picking the ball up, let alone someone without a huge amount of handle. Encouragement there from Coach Akorn on the Szombathely bench. Brownick now looking for something in front of him. There's nothing here. Into the hands of Benjamin Simons. Oh, hits another big 3. Benjamin Simons is telling his team to climb on his back. He's going to drag them kicking and screaming back into this one. Almost stolen away. Filipovic now on the wing, going up against Simons, gets the lane, throws it away though. Brownick, McKinney-Jones, oh, and he's fouled as he goes to the basket. You could see he wanted to see if that's going to be an unsportsmanlike foul. Not sure if the officials will review it. Oh, it's a fair bit of force from Hooker. Timeout has been called. And you can see Brownick and McKinney-Jones asking him to review it. They're not going to. I think it's just going to stay as a regular foul. Let's jump into Coach Akorn's timeout.
Hey, listen me. Listen me. Perel, pass to Hooker, Filipovic, Redick, Oliver somewhere on the middle, but get away. If trap come, perimeter for perimeter. Hey, don't be scared. You understand me? Huh? Every pick and roll. Hey, hey. Every pick and roll they want to trap. Open. Hey, with pass. Listen me. The game is not.
It really was just a kind of let's calm down. The game is ours to throw away as we see a replay of exactly how this game has opened back up slightly for the away team Bonn. Simons has been deadly from the wing, 2 from 2 so far in this 4th quarter as he's moved his tally up to 9 points for the game. They still trail by 18 points though, and the home crowd have been gifted a wonderful night of European basketball so far. For them, the cherry on top of the cake though, the bow on top of the present, has got to be a Szombathely win. And that's more reassured when you see Zoltan Pearl back into the game as we have now for Szombathely. 2 from 2 from the line for McKinney-Jones, and the lead shrinks to just 16 now for Bonn. Just over 8 minutes to play. Hooker, a little bit more pressure now from Bonn on the full court. He's got the foot speed over Simons. Hands it away to Redick though. Filipovic tries to feed it into the low post, but Redick is fouled by Brownick. Only the 2nd team foul of the quarter for Bonn though. And it's his weak hand that's doing the fouling. It'll be a baseline ball for Szombathely. Hooker, a little shake. Redick, pick and roll. Pearl now drives inside and is fouled. No basket. That one's going to be called on the floor. That one's also chalked up to Bjorn Bartolo. And at some point, time management starts coming into the minds of the Szombathely players. For me, it's just a bit too early. You need to be in sub 5 minutes to start worrying about this. At the moment, they should just keep playing their game. They've been able to score. Hooker for 3. Off target. Bartolo can't pull down the rebound, can only knock it out of bounds. It will remain in the hands of the men in yellow. Hooker now on the wing, being guarded by Sabu. Pearl finds Filipovic, who drains another big shot. He's not been in the game very long, under 15 minutes. He's up to 6 points, 2 rebounds for Marko Filipovic. Into the corner now, Sabu. He's too heavy-handed, and Filipovic pulls down the rebound. He gets out of the races. What's he going to do? Coast to coast for Filipovic. And Szombathely are back up to a 21-point lead now. Any time that Bonn find a glimmer of hope, it's quickly slammed back in their face. There's the pass from Pearl. And there's the 3 from Filipovic before he gets out and runs. Just 23 years old, averaging over 12 points per game in the Basketball Champions League, 5 rebounds. Chalked up 22 points in that opening game win over Dijon. Sorry, opening game loss, in fact, against Dijon. Sabu inside. No good off the glass, and the rebound falls into the hands of Pearl. He hands it off. Filipovic with the thunder jam. And you hear the noise and the drums and the songs ringing out around the arena now. They sense the win is close. Another steal from Szombathely. And they'll slow things down. 12 steals from Szombathely now. Unbelievable defensive effort. Pearl inside. Redick and 1. Beautiful offense from Szombathely. And this is a team that have struggled to score in this season's Basketball Champions League. Timeout called by Coach Pesh as he gets close to the last throw of the dice. Let's jump into his timeout.
How many fouls we have? But we're not giving up layups. We're not making them fucking dunk on transition. We're not giving those rolls. Be strong and finish strong. You hear me? This now is about showing heart and dignity. It's about doing the right thing. I don't care how many fouls we have. Play borderline. Play and stop them. Stop. And move the ball offensively. Stop dribbling. Pass. Come on, man. Let's go.
Pretty straightforward message, and you can see how passionate Coach Pesh is. We apologise for some of the more colourful language chosen by Coach Pesh in his huddle. Hopefully no young ears heard that. But you can get his message. He's saying to his guys, this isn't about technique, tactic, or anything. This is about heart now. And this really is a pride mission now for Telekom Baskets Bonn. I don't think they were expecting to come here and be down by 25 points with just over 6 minutes to play. It's been an unbelievable performance from the home team. And that man there, Javonte Redick, 15 points, 100% from the field. Wonderful, wonderful performance from him. And that just adds to the Bonn misery. He's up to 16 points along with 6 rebounds now. Sabu. Frazier's trying to get free, but Hooker will not let him get free. Brownick now finding his way to the basket. Oh, he's rejected by Redick. They're going to hold on to the ball, but there's only 2 seconds left on the shot clock for them to work with. Redick's first block of the game. Oh, as clean as they come. Some arguments from the officials with the coaching staff, as Coach Korn is not happy with that. Being told to calm himself. Another conversation. They're going to review it. Just interesting to see what the review's on, and I presume it's on the ferocity of the pass in, or whether it was an attempted pass, or whether he was just trying to throw it off the defender. Let's have a look. Oh, he's absolutely launched it into Pearl's stomach. I think that's going to be the angle that they're looking at. He's thrown it full pace into Zoltan Pearl's stomach. Was there intention to hurt the player? Or was he just trying to make sure that they recovered possession? That's the discussion. Just going to have clarification now, I think, with the officials table. Yeah, they're looking at the timing as well. So just 1.5 seconds. That was the other thing they were checking. 1.5 seconds left on the shot clock now for Bonn. What can they do with it? Can they even get it in? They can. Frazier for three. He's short. Rebound into the hands of Pearl. Filipovic now for three. Oh, he is absolutely raining the fire in this final quarter. He's up to 13 points personal. 3 from 6 from range. Browning gets the 2. And it's a party atmosphere here in the stands of the Severia Arena. Hooker now inside, kicks it out. Pearl, Filipovic, not another 3. Yes, it is. It's string music all over the arena for Marco Filipovic. Foul's going to be called on Zoltan Pearl as the lead is at 30 points and Filipovic is in another realm right now. Catch and shoot master at work. Marco Filipovic, just 23 years old, and he's made it rain inside. And you hear the crowd. The songs are getting louder and louder. Stolen away. Quick hands by Redick. Filipovic out at the races. He's going to have to slow it down, though, as Szombathely shuts the door on him. Under 4.5 minutes to play, and the carnival is starting in the arena. Filipovic for 3. He's off left this time, though. Oh, rebound by Pearl. Can't get it to go. And Bonn will come away with it in the hands of Sabu. Frazier now trying to find some space. Goes inside to Szombathely. Szombathely has it knocked away by Pearl. Quick hands from Zoltan Pearl. And if Szombathely can hold on to some of these younger players, Zoltan Pearl's only 24, Filipovic is only 23, DeQuan Lake 22, Hooker 24. Unbelievable. Devon Washington, the only player over 30, and he is only 30. What a bright future for this club if they can lock these players in on long-term contracts. DeLeo for 3. The Iron spits that one away. Szombathely, Simon. No joy, but they get another offensive rebound, and Bonn will keep going to the final buzzer. Points difference may come into play here when it comes down to deciding who makes it through to the round of 16. Varady. Into the hands of Ron Curry. Benka looking for Redick. Redick in the low post. Pass to Filipovic inside and floats up for an easy 2. And it is going all his ways up to 18 points now in just shy of 19 minutes of action. Marco Filipovic. Leo no good for Bonn. Curry will slow it down. Trying to shake his defender, but Benatfel stays in front of him. Benka floats inside. High archer is no good, and it's knocked away by Reddick. So it's going to be a Bonn ball on the sideline. 32-point lead and an absolute exhibition by Szombathely here at the Severia Arena in the beautiful Hungary. And some rotations now from Szombathely as they bring De Oliveira into the game for the first time, and his first scratch on the box score is in the fouls column, fouling the shooter. In fact, it's not, sorry, De Oliveira, it's Kovacevic, my mistake. Just 22 years old, Kovacevic. His first pro season. Graduated from UIP in the summer, but has been part of Hungarian basketball for a while. Played under 18s, under 20s for his country. And just another one on this conveyor belt that Szombathely seem to have of just pure young talent. And my goodness me, has it worked this evening. Simon's at the line for the third of his free throws, and that's good to go. Hitting 2 from 3. Brings the Szombathely lead down to 30 as Steven Zimmerman comes back into the game. 2.5 minutes to play. Varady now. Benka uses the Lake screen. Tries to skip it inside, but it's a bit too hot and ends up in the hands of Benatfel. De Leo. Simons for 3. Off target, and it'll fall into the hands of Ron Curry now. Under 2 minutes to play. Curry inside. He's short, and Zimmerman pulls down the rebound. Bonn are playing for pride and points difference at the moment, as Trey McKinney-Jones goes strong to the basket and picks up the foul from Benka. And that takes him up to 10 points, along with 3 assists and 3 rebounds. And back to the drawing board for the young coach Pesh. He has been put to the sword this evening by Coach Akorn and his team, Szombathely. Plenty of analysis to be done out of the back of this game for Coach Pesh and the Bonn coaching staff. No good this time, and Bonn will get out of the races as Simons finishes off an easy transition offense. And Szombathely need to keep their heads. Points difference might affect them as well. This has been their best offensive performance. Before tonight, they'd only scored 76 in their win over Pauk. Much better tonight. Lake to Curry. Little sidestep for 3. In and out. Rebound pulled away by Trey McKinney-Jones. De Leo for 3s off left. Rebound won by Benka there for Szombathely. Oh, behind the back to Curry, and a zipped pass inside to Kovacevic. But the foul is called on Simons. Pulls on the arm, I think, of Ron Curry. That'll send Curry to the line for 2 shots. Curry, one of the more veteran players in Szombathely's lineup, and he's only 26 years old. This is the second of the two, though. Splits those free throws. Final minute of the game. Just 37 seconds to play here at the Szombathely Arena. Inside to Lake. Oh, and Lake is fouled hard. Hits the hardwood. Quite an impact, but he's back on his feet straight away. And he'll go back to the line. And the crowd are enjoying every moment of this one. They've seen 2 Basketball Champions League games so far, and they've seen 2 wins. That one was called as an unsportsmanlike foul, so Lake will get the free throws and Szombathely will get the ball back on the half. Back to the line for the second of his free throws. Connects with that as well. 32.9 seconds left in the game. That one was chalked up to McKinney-Jones as an unsportsmanlike foul. Benker now. That goes into Valady. Back to Benker for 3. Oh, he hits the corner 3. What a wonderful way to seal off this game. They break into the 90 points now. They're up by 32. What a win this is for Szombathely. 2-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. But this is going to be the final knockings of this game day 4 between Szombathely and Bonn. And that's going to be the end of the game here at the Szombathely Arena in Hungary. Szombathely win this one 91-59 over Telekom Baskets Bonn. What a game we have been dealt here in Hungary this evening. Game day 4 of Group D. A wonderful matchup between Szombathely and Bonn. The home team pick up the win. On the back of that, they now move to 2 wins and 2 losses. Exactly the same record for Bonn now as well. They're on 2 wins and 2 losses. And not only that, but Szombathely have done it in style. A 32-point win here in game day 4. 91 to Falco Szombathely, 59 to Telekom Baskets Bonn. And absolutely, they should have smiles on their faces. The crowd in the arena have been absolutely wonderful from the opening tip to the final game, to the final buzzer. And you can hear the songs continue to ring out around the arena. Wonderful, wonderful atmosphere here all evening, and it's being finished off beautifully between the players and the fans. The noise levels have been off the chart, and they really have spurred them on to win this wonderful night of European basketball. It has been wonderful. Here are your game stats. Great shooting inside from Szombathely. Their perimeter shooting picked up, particularly out of the hands of Marko Filipovic, and they also won the rebounding battle 42-35. That second half was an absolute exhibition from Szombathely on how to play European basketball. They outscored Bonn by 41-26. Here are your top scorers. Filipovic 18, Redick 16, Lake 12. For Bonn it was Simons 13, Jones 11 and Browning with 10. The home team are being serenaded now by the crowd here in the arena at Szombathely. But as I say, what a wonderful game we've had. The first quarter of the game, Szombathely just got out of the blocks like absolute lightning. They ended up leading by 10 at the end of the first quarter. They extended that lead further through the second quarter. They're up by 15 at one point. but then Bonn kicked back in. They brought the game back to within 3, but at the halftime break, it was a 7-point lead for Szombathely, but Szombathely did not look back from there. They came out of the locker room, put up a 22-9 third quarter, and really killed the game off there and then. Bonn did their best in the final quarter, but some absolute dead-eye shooting from Szombathely, in particular Marko Filipovic, just rained down the pain on Bonn, and that was enough to seal the 91-59 win for the home team, Szombathely. As I say, that moves Szombathely onto a 2-win, 2-loss record, also moves Bonn onto a 2-win, 2-loss record. Plenty more games to come. The other 3 games in Group D still to come, with Dijon playing PAOK later this evening before Neptunus take on Zaragoza and Brindisi take on Besiktas tomorrow. But one thing's for sure, Szombathely have done themselves all the good in the world. So many ups for Szombathely in this performance, scoring 91 points, 20 more points than they've been averaging so far in the Basketball Champions League this season. Will be a relief to Coach Akorn and the players alike. For Bonn, plenty to analyse. What went wrong? How can we make things better? There is absolutely tons for them to look at and remedy within this performance. Both these teams now will move on to game day 5, and game day 5 for Szombathely is back on the road. They'll make their way to Besiktas next Tuesday, whilst Bonn will make their way home. They'll take on Neptunus Klaipeda, and that will be on Tuesday as well next week. But things are heating up nicely here in Group D of the Basketball Champions League. And what a wonderful night of European basketball we've had here in Hungary at the Savaria Arena. Telekom Baskets Bonn weren't able to come on the road and get the win. There's your group standings at the moment. Szombathely move up to 2nd place, 2-2. Bonn move down a spot to 2-2 into 3rd. Thank you so much for joining me here at the Savaria Arena in Hungary. Szombathely win this one 91-59 over Telekom Baskets Bonn. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you again soon.